Hi guys, today we're going to be working on these lace flowers. I originally saw this design on Instagram done by Kristen. She's KGR and she also has a YouTube channel and that's called Lacquer Style. So I wanted to find something to kind of practice my freehand, and this seemed relatively simple and I'm mostly pleased with how it turned out. So if you'd like to see my inspiration, there'll be a link down in the information box. And if you'd like to see how I did my version, just stay tuned. What you choose as your base color is up to your personal preference. I decided to keep it pretty much dark and sparkly like my inspiration. I'm wearing Zoya Storm, which is a black holographic. And then for the flowers, you can use a white polish if you want. I'm actually using white acrylic paint just so that I can easily wipe it off if I need to. And then I'm going to be using this small brush to draw the flowers. And there you get a view of my growing out break on my index nail. It's actually growing out pretty well. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and I'm just going to try and use as light of a touch as possible so that I can keep the lines very fine and cross my fingers and hope for the best. I'm going to start off down by my cuticle and draw in the petals kind of like little, kind of want to say like a marquee shape. If you are familiar with gemstone cuts, and just draw in each petal. You don't have to have it the same on each nail either. My inspiration, it was different on each nail, and I think I'll see as I go along. This is actually not turning out too bad. You guys know I always get a little bit kind of nervous when I'm freehanding stuff because I just don't do it very often, but you want to kind of fill in the petals as much as you can for however many flowers you decide on that nail. And then the next step to kind of make it look like lace is to start filling in kind of some little crosshatches on each flower like that, and continue that on each petal, and even kind of in between if there are any gaps in between the flower so that it ends up looking like lace. So I'm going to continue that on the rest of my nails and we'll see how it turns out. I'm moving on to my right hand now, and I thought I would just take a moment to talk about painting on your dominant hand. A lot of people ask me, how do I do my right hand painting with my left hand? And I don't know if people expect me to just say, yeah, if you hold the brush this certain way, it'll be just as easy as your other hand. It won't be. The only way to get better at it is with practice. I mean, I don't know any magic way to make yourself better at anything. If you want to get better, you have to practice. So, I consciously make an effort to use my left hand other than just when I'm painting my nails. If I'm maybe doing a puzzle, I'll do puzzle pieces with my left hand. Or, you know, whatever the case may be. But like I said before, if it just sits there hanging at the end of your arm all day, you can't expect it to magically have nail art skills when you want to paint your nails. So my main tips would just be to find a way to hold the brush that's comfortable for you, that may or may not be the same way that you hold the brush in your dominant hand, and take it slow. You know, have some patience with yourself. In this case, using the acrylic paint really helps because I can correct my mistakes, or what I see as my mistakes. And, you know, like I said, practice, then practice some more. Of course, always, and especially when you're working with acrylic paint, you want to finish with a top coat. I'm using Seche Vite. So here's the finished look, and I actually like it. If I get like super close, like when I was actually working on it, of course the perfectionist in me sees every little error. But when I feel like that, the first thing I do is literally hold my hand out and look at it at arm's length, and it really does give the effect of lace, and I think it's really pretty. I'm sorry I didn't show you guys more on my right hand, but my battery ran out. I actually started over on several of the fingers several times, but overall, although the lines turned out a little heavier, even on that hand, I think it looks pretty good. I'd love to hear what you guys think of this design. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.